All right, welcome back, everybody. I mentioned on our draft show that I'd be getting more information out. I committed at the time to sending it via email. At least that's what I intimated. But because I'm so doggone lazy and YouTube is so easy, decided to just give you a little video post here. I hope you don't mind. Want to go over a couple things tonight. Talk a little bit more about the draft. I want to go over our rosters and our team sizes, and then I want to go over the scoring system. Again, just a reminder, the draft is next Saturday, August 28th. We start at 7:15 a.m. We're going to have 14 rounds. You're going to have 90 seconds between picks to make your decision. If it senses that you haven't logged into the application, if you're not going to be there in person, it's not going to make the rest of us wait 90 seconds. It's going to know, and it's going to make the picks right away. We gave our draft order. Quincy's going to go first. Honest to God, it was an honest draw. I'm going to go second. Honest draw. Any rate, serpentine draft. You're going to go back and forth. So just be prepared. It kind of goes fast, especially when people know the picks they want to make. The other thing I'd point out as far as the draft is concerned, you may want to go onto Yahoo. They have a player ranking, default ranking, 1 through N, all the players and the skill positions throughout the league. You can adjust that order if you wanted to make sure that you got your favorite running back, your favorite quarterback, and you want to make it easier for you to know where they are. You can pull them into a special queue. Do this prior to the draft, and those settings will carry forward into the draft with you. But if not, like I said in the draft show, I've seen a lot of success, frankly, with folks just kind of letting the machine do what it does. It's going to pick the best available player at the time. But it is a lot of fun in the draft, and I always go in because I think I'm smarter than the machine. Probably not. Any rate, let's talk a little bit about our roster positions. There are going to be 10 spots that we play week over week. There's one quarterback that you're going to start, 2 wide receivers, 2 running backs, a tight end, and then there's 2 hybrid positions. Wide receiver / tackle, W/T, or wide receiver / running back, W/R. In those 2 positions, you can put either wide receiver tight end or wide receiver running back. Then we're going to have a kicker, and then you're going to have a defensive team. You're going to be able to keep 4 players on your bench. So it's not a very deep bench, and there's going to be a lot of times when you need to try to make a trade, pick somebody up off wire, pick up a free agent. You're able to do that. There's unlimited trades. You got to get the other people to agree to it, and then the league has to vote on it. But as far as free agents are concerned, and picking people up off waivers, there is no limit to the number of moves that you can make over the year. So if you're one of those people that wants to manage and try to optimize every little yard out of your team, you're free to do that. There's no this league doesn't limit any of that. Let's talk a little bit about our scoring system. And again, all of the league settings are available on the website. If you go to the website, go to leagues, and in the drop-down menu, you'll have scores and settings, a sub-menu item underneath that. So we're going to award points for offense, basically. Now, there's a lot of points awarded for defense, but let's talk about the offense. It's passing, it's rushing, it's receiving. All of those activities are going to generate points. That's why we draft the skill positions. Your quarterback, for every 10 yards the quarterback passes, you're going to get 1 point. Every touchdown, you're going to get 6 points. An interception is going to cost you 2 points. If a quarterback runs, it runs and picks up yards, or runs and scores a touchdown, that counts for you as well. If they score a touchdown on the ground, that counts. Looking at your wide receivers and your running backs. Again, it's every 10 yards receiving, every 10 yards rushing, it's worth 1 point. Every touchdown is worth 6. Fumbles lost is -2. A 2-point conversion is worth 2. And if you get an offensive fumble return for a TD, that's worth 6. So 10 yards for passing, 10 yards for receiving, 10 yards for rushing, 1 point, and then touchdowns are worth 6. Kicker, pretty much worth 3 points unless you get out past 40 yards. Past 40, it's going to be worth 4 points. And then at 50 or beyond, it's going to be worth 5 points. Point after touchdown is worth 1. Looking at the defensive side of the ball, you're going to notice that the second you start your game, your defense has 15 points. So if your defense holds that team scoreless, shuts them out, you're going to get 15 points for that. As the opponent scores, that 15 points is going to get decremented. You'll have 10 points if they score 1 to 6 points, 7 points if they score 7 to 13, 5 if 14 to 20. If they're scored 21 to 27 points on you, your defense gets 3 points, and then more than 28 points, you don't get anything. As far as that point, the score dynamic is concerned. Your defense can also rack up points as far as sacks. That's worth 1. Interceptions are worth 2. Fumble recoveries are worth 2. Touchdowns, defensive touchdowns are worth 6. Safeties 2. Block kicks 2. Kickoff and punt returns, because those are defensive plays, right? That's an offensive team becoming a defensive team becoming an offensive team. Kickoff returns count for 6 points for you. That's our scoring system. It all gets calculated automatically. One quick word about week over week as far as adjusting your roster. You have up until 5 minutes before kickoff time for any respective player's game to adjust that player's status. You can make as many moves as you want. As I said, you can there's a 2-day waiver period. If I were to drop a player, he's going to sit on the waiver pool for 2 days before you can pick him up. There is a waiver priority. You'll see that on the website. So that if 2 people come in and they want the same player, whoever has the higher waiver priority, that's who's going to get him. At any rate, up to 5 minutes before kickoff for that player, you can adjust the score or adjust the position. Once the game has started, that player is locked, and you're committed at that point. One thing to watch out for during the week, and it comes in the first week, and it comes in the holiday weeks, comes in Thanksgiving, obviously, and Christmas, where you have Thursday games. September 9th, the kickoff game is going to be between the Minnesota Vikings and New Orleans Saints. That's a Thursday night game. So you just need to pay attention. If you've got players from those teams playing or on your roster and you want them in, you got to make that commitment on Thursday evening. But for the most part, Sunday is it. You've got early games, you've got evening games, late games, then you get that Sunday night game, and then you of course got Monday Night Football. But that's it. So the last thing I would say is, if you've never done this before and you think, oh, it's going to be, very kind of high maintenance, it can be if that's what you want, but it doesn't have to be. If you pay attention and just look at your team at least once a week and make sure that nobody's injured or the matchups are what you want or somebody's not on a bye week, it's really pretty easy. The calculating of the scores happens automatically. You just got to pay a little bit of attention, watch out for injuries, watch out for that bye week, and just look at the best matchups and try to optimize the matchups. Other than that, it's pretty straightforward. So there'll be more of these updates throughout the year. I'm going to try to do weekly recaps, give you hopefully something to have fun with. But at any rate, so that'll be it for tonight. Let's look forward to draft next Saturday. You may want to check out your system and make sure it's compatible on the Yahoo system, but most systems are. There's a little link on the front door of our fantasy league for that. Anyway, that's it for now. So long, everybody. Have a good week, and we'll see you next Saturday in the draft room.